nights, it's like a ghost town. It is like a ghost town. I would ask them why would they knock down perfectly good buildings.
Yeah, it's for the profit. They basically say, we don't need you, get rid of you.
It was strange because it was mainly on the Thursday and Friday that most of the people were getting convicted, and I walked around the back and I was talking to some man, and he was standing there with his furniture outside the house, and I mean, I just said out of interest, where are you going? And he says, I don't know. And when people started leaving, furniture started appearing, like TVs, videos. To me, it seemed like that people, it was done all too quick. You know what I mean?
They couldn't pack their
They
belongings.
couldn't pack their belongings, and most of it was left in the flats.
Okay, we're here at Sweets Way. We've got
Camera down, please.
why?
Camera down, please.
Why?
Because you're not allowed to film us. We're court officials and you shouldn't be filming us. You're on private property at the moment as well, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, can you please put the camera down? Can you please put the camera down? You're not allowed to film court officials doing a job. It's inhumane that we have to do the job anyway.
Which was sad.
Yeah, all in front of the
On
doors.
Thursday night, because I remember they needed to be out on Friday, on Thursday night you could hear the kids shouting and screaming until late at night.
So,
It was just a nightmare to listen to the neighbors and the vans going.
What's happening to us? We're getting moved out today.
We're getting moved out.
We're getting moved out.
Just because I don't even know why.
These have been your home for how long?
About 4 years.
4 years.
And you 4 years.
4 years.
And where are you going today?
I don't know. Like, I don't really know. It's more.
I'm confused.
A nightmare. And 2 days after they were coming to pick up their belongings, and they already had the metal
shuttered.
the front and the back, so the people couldn't get the rest of their stuff.
People probably knew in October and around that time, but the convictions were actually probably started from January onwards. Our conviction date was January the 16th. We do have stress, yeah, but the worst thing is not knowing where you're going to go, or not knowing if your child has to leave the school, and it's just the uncertainty. I mean,
Not knowing.
basically, when the letter comes, you don't know how long you've got to pack, so you've got to organise everything. And I've heard of one person going to, was it Birmingham?
Yeah, it's been sent to Birmingham.
And other people are being sent to Enfield, Ponders End,
Edgware, Graham Park.
Graham Park, Edgware.
What would you do in Birmingham?
There's no jobs out there. I mean, we're settled now. We got a job. He's in school. I don't think I would go Birmingham. I'll turn it down completely. Because we won't find a job out there.
And what would you do in that way? They're creating, keep repeating, if they send you somewhere not knowing, you cannot cope with take your child to school and balance family life and work. So we ended up giving up work, so they're creating more job seekers.
And this one's for all the characters that have been forgotten at the present time. I represent for the jobless that have been made redundant, that I got 4 kids and don't know how to fund them. Ever since the wife and the husband both lost their jobs in the office in London, now they feel financially trapped at a lock with a rat in a dingy old dungeon. Take this young father or 2, signing on and the government says that his family are sponges. He's like, damn man, we ain't got a penny or a pound, let alone money for milk and nappies and trainers and jumpers. He got taken off site 'cause it's cheaper to pay Europeans to labour in numbers. How's he gonna take care of his youngers? I represent for the people, let down by a nation and left in the streets where it's evil. Little kids surrounded by knives and heroin needles. I represent for the people, let down by a nation and left in the streets where it's evil. Community outcasts, cold, tired and feeble. I represent for the homeless, let down by a nation more interested in war and invasion when children are sleeping at railway stations. No home or money, they wish they could phone their mummy to put a hot meal in their tummy. So at night when the temperature drops.
It's not a happy environment at the moment here. It's sad, everyone, it's sad.
And there's not very many kids that can communicate with. I mean, the families that are left now, we've all got into a group and now the kids are mixing together. As a community now, we've really come close together.
Strong community.
Yeah, a strong community.
And we'll fight for each other.
Yeah.
Let's make history.
Human right, human right, human right. Housing is a human right, not a privilege. Annington Homes, come out. We know what you're all about. Evictions, home losses, mansions for your bosses. Annington Homes, get out. We know what you're all about. Evictions, home losses, mansions for
Auschwitz to Hebron, my words may sting cowards. For people that were atomized by the third mate in the Twin Towers. Those living through the wars ask me what I do this for. Put the world in its place before it puts you in yours. You can try to avoid us, but it's pointless.
They're occupying number 6 East Weeks Way, and where we first started, we decided that we'll have that as a base where we can meet up and
socialise
and the kids socialise. And now practically every evening the group that are left, the families are left here, they do all cooking and
have like a big family meal together.
Yeah, a big family meal together, and the kids.
In August 2013, me and 28 other mums were handed evictions to say we had to leave our properties. Newham Council offered us accommodation in Manchester, Hastings and Birmingham, away from our support network of family. So we've been demanding social housing, not social cleansing. We have a weekly street stall. We're on the streets trying to raise awareness and get people mobilising together to fight for decent housing for all.
Behind Earls Court there's two housing estates called West Kensington, Gibbs Green, and I live there. So there's 760 homes that are likely to be demolished in this regeneration programme they have. My concern is that there's a lot of young families, likewise there's a lot of old people, and so how are you going to rehouse them simultaneously? You know, there's no provision for the elderly on the new plans.
Even if we don't win, at least we got out there to people what's going on.
And the campaigns are getting bigger and stronger,
Yeah.
so I think whatever happens with us, we'll continue fighting for another people,
Yeah.
because there will be thousands of people out on the street because of profits.
I mean, things like today are showing people that you could win
And fight.
and fight. I was actually born in Hackney. I've lived all my life in Hackney. Well, I was a van driver and I used to go in this cafe and she worked in it, so that's how we met.
Yeah.
And it was actually in Finchley.
Yeah.
But when we had him, we opted for this place. When I've been here all my life and I could see the changes. I mean, to me, Hackney was one of the worst places you could live years ago. But I go back to Hackney and I think to myself, my God, this is a posh place, because they've put in like more and more buildings up in Hackney. Well, it's just pushing all one, like the rich, into one place and pushing all the poor into another place where, you know, I think we should be mixing as a community.
You can try to avoid us, but it's pointless. You can never avoid the voices of the voiceless. You can try to avoid us, but it's pointless. You can never avoid the voices of the voiceless.
When we heard that we had to move, my first thought was, right, I'm not going to borrow any money because I can't afford getting in debt again. And I thought the council would help us out, but my thoughts were wrong. You know what I mean? looking around these flats, there's nothing wrong with the area. Perfectly good buildings. You've got 3 bedroom, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms.
Family house,
You've
perfectly.
got perfect family home for people. So.
And they said they will double the amount of homes here. But no one who can afford to live to come back and live here. So once we leave, that's it, we have to bury the dream, we'll come back and live here.
When we do move, I'll be sad to see, you know, I'll really be sad to, really going to miss them.
Is give us a home. All we are saying is leave us alone.
Have you joined in?
All we are saying, whoops, is give us a home. All we are saying is leave us alone.
Savage. My words are like a riot in Paris. The voice of the voiceless, that voice is social imbalance. So stand stronger, sit harder in your mental palace. Blinded inside the kingdom, united to its old habits. Middle passage coming, war chant, African drumming, Gatling gun humming, rapid fire mechanism, reckless living that checks the rhythm of perfectionism. Slave condition while you singing God save the system. You can try to avoid us, but it's pointless. You can never avoid the way.